So we're here in the room of Blessed William Joseph Chaminade, who founded the Society of Mary. You might know him better as the Marianists. They staff the University of Dayton. They're the religious community there. Also Moeller High School down in Cincinnati, and also Chaminade Julienne High School in Dayton. But also growing up for numerous years, they staffed the parish, Emmanuel, where I grew up at. So I got to know the Marianists really well, and Father Lee Serrata, who was our pastor and was a Marianist, was an incredible example of the priesthood for me personally, and was a great reason as to why I became a priest. And so we're here in the room of their founder. This was the bedroom which he started the Society of Mary here in Bordeaux, France. We made it to Bordeaux yesterday, getting to stay with some good friends, and they're showing us all around. But we had a great Mass here this morning in this room for the Feast of the Most Holy Trinity. We celebrated Mass on this altar right here, and this altar was the altar that Blessed William Joseph Chaminade celebrated Mass on during the French Revolution. He stayed in Bordeaux as long as he possibly could, despite all of the persecution, despite all of the hunts that people were out to put priests away because they wouldn't swear allegiance to the government rather than to the Pope. So he stayed in Bordeaux celebrating Mass here. And eventually he did get exiled to Spain. But while he was in Spain, he had a revelation of what his mission was to come back to Bordeaux and give and recharge the faith amongst the youth. So that's what he did. We're right here in the chapel of the Madeleines, directly below us. And that's what he did. He kept gathering youth, and they formed a sodality where they would study, where they would pray, but also where they would have some time for fraternity. And eventually he worked himself to the utter brim, and he founded the religious community of the Marianists, also a religious community of young women, of sisters. And so he lived and worked and constantly spread devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary because he saw that that was the key to bringing people back to the faith. Because for 8 years, all the priests were exiled, and nobody learned, nobody grew in their faith, no masses were celebrated for 8 years. Just try to put yourself in that situation where there's no Mass, no CCD, nothing for 8 years. Only the junk that the government threw down their throats here in France. So it was a tough time, but he came back and the church kind of blossomed here. There's always, of course, the after effects of that revolution. But after long years of work and of founding the Society of Mary, William Joseph Chaminade actually ended up dying in this very room. So there's a picture, I'll take a picture of it. There's one behind me of all of the young people surrounding Blessed Chaminade at his death. So maybe today something you could do is to pray for his canonization. He's one miracle away from being canonized as saint. I actually, a few years ago, met a young lady whose miracle, her 3-time cure from cancer, was being investigated by the Vatican as the miracle to help Blessed William Joseph Chaminade be canonized into Saint William Joseph Chaminade. So maybe say a prayer that he does get canonized so that his name, his message, his work may spread throughout the universal church. God bless you from Bordeaux. I'm sure we got a great day today planned, some fun with the family, and hopefully you get to spend this Sunday with your family as well. God bless.